Life don't always share to you. Sometimes it dims your flame.
Welcome everyone to another episode of QSJ Radio's Mad Law, Digging Up the Underground. I'm your host, Traffic Light, and today we're sitting down with an artist who's proven that meaningful songwriting still has a place in today's music industry. While so much of modern music is driven by algorithms and trends, today's guest has built an audience in more than 120 countries through something much simpler and much harder to fake: honest storytelling. Dylan England is an independent country songwriter whose music explores faith, redemption, addiction, perseverance, family, and the complicated moments that define who we become. Songs like When Faith Comes Easy, Some Storms Stay, My Brother, My Best Friend, and the new single The Devil Never Shouts aren't just country songs. They're conversations wrapped inside melodies. Instead of chasing viral moments, Dylan has focused on creating timeless songs that listeners can return to years later. His long-term vision isn't simply to become a successful recording artist, but to become a kind of songwriter whose catalogs lives on through other artists as well. Today, good morning, we're digging into the stories behind the songs and the challenges of remaining authentic in today's music business, and what really means to write from experience instead of expectation. Dylan England, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you for having me, Dave.
Just off the... Listen, that is okay. That is...
Oh,
I've been waiting all day to say something, and the first thing is, it's all right. It's all right, D. That is amazing. So we first started with Some Storms Stay, and I didn't even get to the second verse. It was already dramatic. It was already a scene there. What's the story behind that? Some Storms Stay.
So Some Storms Stay was a song I wrote from personal loss myself. Some things happen to us and they pass us by. We get through it. We weather the storm. We move on, even forget about it at times. But with Some Storms Stay, there's things that stick with us our whole lives, whether it be a moment, an accident, a diagnosis, no matter what it is. And that's what inspired that song, was because, there's things I can't ever get over, and I know other people feel the same way, whether it's the loss of a parent or a cancer diagnosis, which is terrible but honest. And it's a hard truth. That song is probably my most mature and probably my lyrically best written song at the moment. Line for line, I dug through that song with a fine-tooth comb. I worked on it for months. I put countless time and effort into it. And it really sits with about 90% of working men nowadays. Life is just hard.
Yeah.
And some things are just hard to let go of, too.
You've often said, and this is like reading all over the place about you, that your songs come from real life rather than imagination. Okay, totally get that when I'm listening to it. But when you're writing, how do you decide which experiences are ready to become songs and which are still personal to share?
Yeah, so I do find my inspiration from my own experiences, things I've witnessed that other people's went through. But it's just finding new ways to say the same thing over again. That's where my imagination comes into play. Like with The Devil Never Shouts, most people tie the devil to destructive, a hurricane, something huge and out there. That song actually turned it around because in that song, the lyrics are, he just pulls up a chair beside you and slowly calls you friend. It's a little different take on what the devil actually is, and the good and bad that we all face every day. But a lot of moments in our life aren't big and explosive. The things that really destroy us are those silent things, the things that slowly take time that we don't notice until it's too late. And that was really the inspiration behind that song is my brother and my mom, watching them. And then, of course, there's a line in there, the hardest truth I ever faced was seeing their pain in my name, wearing my name.
Mm.
And a lot of people don't look at it that way, but I've hurt my mom's feelings before. I seen her pain wearing my name because of something I did. But there's so many things like that in each song that my imagination just kind of works a little different. I like to try and dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
I like to try and tie one thing with another that most people wouldn't make a connection with. And then, of course, that song in particular is it's really personal to me. And then it accounts for everything. It's not a certain addiction to any certain thing. It can be shopping. It can be anything. We all have our thing.
It's really, 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 really crazy. I wanna touch on this because you're lyrically, and you guys don't understand the emphasis of the songwriting, the lyrics that we're saying, but we'll get to that. Your catalog, it touches on difficult subjects, addiction, redemption, faith. These topics are like easily preachy. They're preachy. Oh my God. And maybe even overly dramatic. But your songs feel like a conversation. How do you find that?
That is the hardest thing I found because of the type of things I do write about. They can come off preachy. But that is one of the hardest challenges I found is trying to make it sound more like a conversation than a father preaching to his child or, something to that effect. It is very challenging. I won't lie. It takes many, many hours to find the right words because you can say the same thing, but say it 10 different ways. And you've got to find that right way that balances and continues moving the story of the song along. I don't like filler lyrics at all. I don't like filler stuff. If it's not progressing my story through the song, then it automatically gets cut, removed, replaced, whatever has to be done. But yeah, these experiences are real, and we all face them every single day. When Faith Came Easily is probably the most personal song to me because as a child...
Hold up. Like we're going through that because I know.
I'm flowing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, which is fine because this is exactly how my questions are flowing. It's like we're on the same page here, which is really dope. But I want to stop real quick because we're focusing on the songwriting a lot. But I want to know... Every songwriter has an origin story. So when you think back at that first moment where you realize writing songs wasn't something that you just enjoyed, it was something that you needed to do. Can you bring us back to that origin story?
Yeah, so I originally wrote poetry when I was a teenager and a little kid. It was a way for me to connect with my feelings, a way to express my emotions in a more healthier way than anger or crying. And as I've gotten older and through these life experiences, I realized that I love music. I have since I was a child. I love to sing. I was not blessed with a singing voice, but when I wrote that
voice is fine. Okay.
Yeah. I hear you, man.
I got a lot of friends every day in my ear with the shower voice. It's crazy, but go ahead.
Yeah, it just I just want to be heard. I want to be heard. Most average people don't get to be heard. This is a way for me to get to be heard, for me to let people know that there is hope, that we do feel the same way. You're not in life alone. The struggles are real for each of us, and if we recognized that and embraced each other, maybe the world would be a little better place, because we all carry something every day. No matter responsibilities, commitment, it doesn't matter what it is, we're carrying something, each and every one of us. And if my songs can touch someone and let them know they're not alone anymore, that's what matters to me at the end of the day.
Now, before anyone knew like the name Dylan England, because as I'm looking at your average amount is at least 7,000 people are listening to you a month. What kind of kid were you growing up, and were you always drawn to music, or did songwriting find you later in life?
So me and my brother were raised by a single mom. Dad was in and out a lot. She loves music.
Single mom life. Okay.
Yes. She loves music. She pushed it off onto me and my brother, obviously, in long car rides on back roads. And she was blessed with a singing voice. I don't know why she never tried to use it, but she was. And it's her. Everything ties back to her. I released my first song because of her. She gave me the motivation and the confidence to say, people need to hear this. And then on top of that, my wife, she has really inspired me. She had an even rougher growing up than I did. And for her to be where she's at, she's now a nurse and an assistant director of nursing at her facility. Man, she's super successful.
Shout to those.
They
don't know about the wife backstory. The wife backstory.
Oh man, she'll give you chills, bro. If I tell you her whole story, it'll give you chills.
Look, we're not gonna get into wifey's backstory, but my wife also has a backstory, and they don't understand. I gotta do this at least for them. They don't understand that is in there, because you seeing it. You seeing you know what I mean? It's amazing stuff. Cheers to that. Cheers to wifey.
Yes, cheers to her. My story got a lot better when she became mine. I'll be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
14 years now. I'm telling you, man, my story got all the best parts of my story are from her. She is the sole reason why her and my kids, man, everything starts with her. My day does. My day ends with her. And she deals with me throughout the whole day. I don't know why she puts up with me. I'm kind of hard to deal with.
That's the question. Life, right?
Well,
we blessed for that. And I see, because I could already tell, there's this thing that's going on. I was about to ask you, like, are you about to like join a church, start a church? But it's fine if you do, but it feels like there is something. And I want to get right into exactly where we threw off, because I want to introduce people to this song. It's really amazing. When Faith Comes Easily. This really ties into all this. It's an intriguing title, because it almost suggests that faith isn't easy. And sometimes it's not for people. But let's get that serious, okay? They just blow it off. They want to say it's the human character, the first human superhero, right? Whoever that is on whatever book you read, right? What chapter of your life inspired that song, and has your perspective changed since writing it?
Yeah, so I'm on a new spiritual journey, finding God again. I may cry, man. This song hits me hard. It's tied to my heart. I'm telling you, man. I remember being a kid and believing in God and faith. It was so easy, so natural. It was like breathing air. Well, as life's difficulties start catching up as you get older and older, I slowly slipped away from him, and I felt like I left him behind. And I don't want to spoil future songs, but no, I'm making my way back. I don't know if he put his hand on me, but I got cold chills when I wrote that song, and I just knew it was something special. I don't know if it came from him. I don't know if it came from me, or if it came from us both. But that one, it was hard to find faith again. I won't lie. Life got hard for us for a long time. And my wife told me, she goes, you've got to find your faith again. Please, at least try. And so I've learned to find peace without all the answers. That is a spoiler for a song. That's my next release on the 24th. Found Peace Without Them. I have another one. I call it my Faith Trilogy. I'll release it much later, probably in a couple of months or something. You know, I try to give them time to space out.
We're good. Don't focus on the releases.
No. But
we're gonna
but
get
no,
to this
man.
faith. Well, let's take a quick break, real quick, and then we'll get back to this. So, When Faith Comes Easily by Dylan England on QSJRadio.com.
Used to talk to you at bedtime like you were sitting in the room. Never questioned if you heard me, never doubted what I knew. I still find myself wondering where it started slipping through. Was it one unanswered question or 1,000 I didn't get to? I didn't lose faith in a moment. It must have faded over time. One quiet doubt after another, till I lost what I once knew. But I still catch myself looking upward when life brings me to my knees. Guess some part of me is still hoping to find what I used to believe. 'Cause I miss the peace I carry when faith came easily.
That was When Faith Came Easily. And as I'm having it in the background, me and Dylan just talking and chilling and stuff. But I've already listened to these songs. It does feel like some outer body experience has happened during this song transaction. And even more crazy, the music feels honest. Was there someone growing up who encouraged you to be vulnerable, or did you have to learn that on your own?
That was something I definitely had to learn on my own. Honestly, like I told you, you know, I feel like God touched my shoulder and he gives me all the strength I need. So vulnerability is out of the question. A lot of people wouldn't write that song because they're afraid of being judged, you know, afraid of being in doubt when it comes to their faith. And I don't feel that way at all. I don't ever feel vulnerable with any of my music. I'm willing to throw my whole heart out there. And if it gets trampled on, it gets trampled on. I don't fear that. But what I've gotten instead is people like it. They're enjoying it. They're coming back and listening to it. And that makes me feel amazing because my voice is being heard. I'm just an average guy. I paint apartments for a living. I'm not some big celebrity. I'm not.
How much, bro?
I mean,
I can't pay for shit.
I'm just a blue collar dad,
bro.
You know.
Yeah. That's.
But
dope.
I'm. If I'm not willing to throw my heart out there, nobody else is going to do it for me. And so maybe I am a little vulnerable, but I don't feel that way at all.
We talked earlier about certain things, and one of the things that gets me, right before we played this song, you said you went away from the faith, right? There was a left turn, right turn, something like that. You know, without getting too deep into it, what was the turn?
Just life being life. I had a hard life growing up. I seen a lot of bad, much more bad than good at times. And I just had so many questions, you know, for God in general. Why did life have to be so hard, you know? But it did steer me away from my faith for a while, for, you know, 7-8 years. I won't lie. But yeah, my wife came to me and we were both grew up Baptist, and we grew up in church every Sunday, Wednesday. We did the vacation Bible school stuff, and she told me
That's
that,
a lot of Jesus. I'm not gonna lie. That's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, it is, but that's all I had as a child. That was my hope as a kid. But as I got a teenager and an adult, and all the commitments and responsibilities in the world, life stuff that I wasn't taught started hitting me, it was easy to turn away. And what's not easy is finding it again and finding peace without all the answers that we have. Everyone has questions, whether we want to admit it or not. We do have questions, but we also have to realize that we don't get to see everything he sees and hear everything he hears. So we're not entitled to all the answers, but you can find peace without them. I did. I managed to.
I always thought that we was like in Q. Like I'm like 3,000,001. I gotta
Yeah.
wait. I gotta wait. I forgot about that already. By the time it's my turn, I already got over it. But not to make fun of the whole situation, because I'm really
You're
not. But there's this sitcom life that we have. As much as people don't understand why we were so drawn to TV shows like that, things that kept on repeat, things that got us back to the first time we laughed, things that got us to the first time we cried, were shows like that. But sometimes we live life like that. And when we live life like that, they're calling them triggers, right? Where it gets you right back into that feeling, right back into whatever. But I have this really crazy deep question for you out of this, is that when you gave up or ran away from faith, there had to be the same situation with music. Was there a point where you thought about giving up on it? And then if so, what pulled you back?
There's times that I have walked away from music for a little while, and just to get my own bearing and my own understanding in my own life back in order and back together. I think the best things we can do is, look inside ourselves. If we want to grow and want to learn and become someone even better, you've got to ask yourself the tough questions, but you've also got to be honest enough with yourself to give yourself an honest answer. That's what a lot of people may not do, is, ask those tougher questions of, I just, I'm sorry. It's, I keep coming back to it though, because it's my voice. It's my way of telling my story. It's, my imagination works that way. I love the written word. I love to write. I've made sure I could write very well. I love reading through the dictionary, learning new words. I like putting new twist on things. But I have walked away a time or two and took a break, but I always find my way back to the written word, whether it's poetry or music, or I may even want to write a book one day. I don't know yet.
I think you should.
I
think you should.
But I've thought about that as well. It's just that I like music that touches me, that means something to me. So those deeper storytelling books of life or songs of life and faith, things like that, they really resonate with me. And that's the kind of music I like and I enjoy. And obviously it flowed into the kind of music I write. The only difference is I try to write about a very broad scope of different things. I try not to focus on one, thing. I go from temptation, to faith, to, redemption, or like my very first release was Find His Own Road. I had to find my own way in life.
We're flowing in the same direction, guys. Listen, that is what I have on cue. That's how I know I've been listening to this dude, right? That's how I know.
I didn't have someone's footsteps to follow in, someone to teach me a certain craft, or, someone to hold my hand through life. Yeah. I had my brother and my mom, and my brother, my best friend, that song, man, that man saved me so much in life. Nobody will understand the things we went through. I couldn't even tell you on the interview right now. But he saved my life. I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be the man without him. I mean, and a lot of people don't want to tell, their older sibling that, or, they don't come out and just do something like that. But I wrote that song, and I spent quite a while on it and fixing the lines and everything. And I wasn't even going to release it. I sent it to him, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to release it because it's a brother song. It probably isn't going to do well. It probably won't sit well with people. And then I just thought, he's one of my biggest inspirations with my storytelling in my life, that I had to release that song, and it's my second best one so far. I
love how you love your song.
It's touching people, and it's relatable to people. I didn't write it about very specific moments because I didn't want it too personal.
Yeah.
But he knows how personal it is, and I mean that's my best friend.
Big shout to your bestie, a shout to your big bro, and things like that, and shout to mom, and shout to their wifey, and things like that. But you know what? Shout out to you. You've grown listeners in more than 120 countries. Did you ever expect people halfway or even around the world to connect with stories that started from your own life?
Not in a million years. I did not expect people that far in this world to hear my voice and my words and the stories I have to tell. Man, it's so surreal at the moment. Like, it hasn't even set in, that these people are coming back and listening to my songs every day. And not in a million years did I even expect to be talking to you today, Dave. Not at all. And I released my first song May the 16th. And here we are. I've got people that listen to my music. They're connecting with it. So I know they don't feel alone. I've got a connection with these people, and I don't even get to know them.
I seen comments. I seen things. I was like, whoa. What?
It's very surreal. It gives me goosebumps even now, even thinking that they're listening to my stories and my songs. It's mind-blowing.
It's amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Dylan England. Let's take one more. Let's take another break real quick. Okay, let's catch ourselves up because we got promotion to do. Find His Own Road. Available all over the place at all streaming platforms. Dylan England's Find His Own Road on QSJRadio.com.
Small town nights in a rusted truck. Dreams too big for a kid down on his luck. Everybody saying who he ought to be, but their version of him never felt free. Working long days with dirt on his hands, trying to build something they don't understand. Heart full of scars, mind full of doubt, still hearing a voice saying don't back out. He's been lost, been broke, been counted out, stood in silence while the world got loud. But somewhere deep inside his soul, a fire kept whispering go. So he took the long road through the pouring rain, through the hard times, heartbreaking, growing pains. No map, no silver spoon, no easy ride, just faith in the man he was trying to find. And every scar became another stepping stone. Every dead end taught him how to walk alone. Now he stands where they said he'd never go. A young man finally finding his own road.
Family shows up throughout your catalog, especially we talked about earlier, my brother, my best friend. We talked about the role of your brother. But and also mom and the wife. What role has your family played keeping you grounded while pursuing music?
Oh, my wife tells me all the time, there's probably 10 million independent artists you have to compete with. How do you know that your one song is better than 10 million other people's one song? And I tell her, I go, it's not. I go, the simple truth is it's not. There's so many amazing minds in the world that it's very hard to get your music heard. It's the hardest challenge of all for any independent artist. We have no backing, no promotional team to market all over the place. We're independent. We write the songs. We have to produce the music, and we also have to distribute the music out. And then we're also responsible for marketing ourselves and our music. So there's very many caps that come with being an independent artist. And there's so many of them out there that I'm not the best. I'm not going to claim to be the best, but I do have an amazing mind, and I'm not going to let anyone tell me I don't. But yeah, my wife would never let me become anything more than humble. She's very well grounded. She knows where she came from. She knows the struggles she faced, and she also knows the ones that I have. So honestly, I like to garden. I write my music in my garden. And if I could, I would feed the whole world out of my garden. But yeah, those are my humble beginnings. I grew up without lights and power at time and water. I grew up without a place to live before. Nothing is going to swell my head up and make me float away from who I am. I am who I am. I haven't changed who I am. I may have been working on my faith, but that's not changing me. It's I don't think I have that issue of thinking that I'm more than I am, or better than anyone else, or anything like that.
The boxer mentality is what I like to call it, until they start growing up and realizing there's other things in the world. But you got
no one
now.
person means more than another. You
hear that, chat? No one person means more than another. You hear that, chat? No, they don't. They don't hear it.
It's true. It's absolutely true. We have to have that mentality if we want to have a better life for our kids and our future generations. We all matter. All of our minds matter. All of our thoughts and opinions matter. Just because we may not agree on them doesn't invalidate your feelings or what you think or how you feel. That we're all different, and that's the beauty of it. If we were all the same, it'd be absolutely boring. We would have one song to listen to our entire lives, and that's it. Could you imagine one song to listen to your entire life?
Oh my God. It'd be the
How boring would that
doesn't end. It'd be the song.
Exactly. So I think we all matter.
Dylan,
Everybody matters.
We gotta talk about this specific thing here, okay? And it's evident that there are some tools that are being used in your music, but I want people to understand. We focused on the songwriting in this part, because there is no way that you can type in whatever into something and it gives you the human feeling. But humans have always been able to communicate in so many ways, and one of them is writing. In a way to make someone understand their sound, and to take away most or all of the personal emotion, so that someone can relate in their own personal feelings towards your songs. This is big deal when going in. Now, it is weird because no one's really talked about, hey, how do you put your songs together? What goes on in the studio? So many people are going to ask this question, but there's this different aspect of what really goes on in the studio. Now check this out. What goes on in the studio What is your how long does it take for you to create?
All right. So each song, as you know, I use AI. That's where the voice and the music comes from. The lyrics are all mine. The lines, the words, the feelings, the emotions, that's all me. AI is a tool I get to use in today's world and society that gives me a voice I wouldn't have had otherwise. You know, and then on top of that, I listen to the same song probably 10,000 times. You know, when I write a song, I have an idea of the voice, of the tone of music, of how I want the flow to be. And I have to listen to that over and over and over until I finally find the right mix and blend of everything to make my song connect the way it does. And to feel those emotions the way it allows you to feel that other AI artists that use AI to produce music, they don't get those same emotions passed out of their songs like I do. But it's everything, you know, the words, the lyrics. And sometimes when I'm listening to a song trying to find that perfect voice and flow, I have to change some lines for the flow of the song to work correctly.
Right.
I mean, you know, there's drafts, and you may have to change one word, or you may have to change 4 whole lines because it just doesn't go with the flow of what you're after. So I still spend countless hours producing each song, countless hours writing them, countless hours of listening to different voices, different music tones, different flows, different beats per minute. Everything matters. And by the time I'm done, I couldn't imagine, honestly, how much time I really put into one song each time. And then some do come a little easier. It's easier to find that voice and to find that emotion, but it's not quick. I can't do it in an afternoon, or I can't do it in a week.
So that's that, you know, and I want people to understand that, because they believe that somebody is hitting Control Alt Delete the game, right? And they think that it's, you know, saying hit the escape button. You know what I'm saying? You want a little pitch, throw a little arrow up, you know, and things like that. But in reality, it's not. And I can tell that, because I get AI songs all the time. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I already know.
Sure.
Like when the AI feels personal, somebody took time on it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because shout out to everybody who used AI, and they probably used a, you know, like a free version or stuff like that, blah, blah. Now these lyrics are not generated. The melodies and voices, whatever, in seconds, hours, as you're saying. Do you think audiences will begin valuing the human aspect of the songwriting even more, or do you worry that it will make it harder for independent songwriters to stand out?
I think some independent artists, the way they produce their music and stuff, I think it does kind of give us a little bad rap, because they're not spending the proper time, they're not putting the proper work into it. But I also think that your song at the end of the day is going to show what you put into it. If you do it halfway and only put half effort, it's going to show that. It's going to reflect that. And one of my songs is Some Storm Stay. That AI voice has so much emotion in it, you would never know that was not a real person singing that song, because I worked so hard to make that song perfect. And it's not perfect. Nothing ever is, but it was so well done that you can feel the emotion from an AI voice, and that's not normal.
That is not.
That's not normal.
That's when you know that shit was, oh my God.
I mean, that is countless hours of hard work and sheer determination and patience. We live in an instant gratification society. If we want to know an answer to a question, we hit Google real quick, type it in, and you have your answer. You know, we live in an instant gratification society now.
Oh my God.
Patience.
I've been saying that shit for a long time. Sorry,
patience is hard to have.
Oh man.
And I have another song. It's called "Growing Underground" that'll be coming out soon,
Ooh,
and it
we
talks
need
about
that.
the things growing that you can't see, whether it's in your career, your everyday life, your personal relationships. Things go unnoticed all the time, and you don't see roots grow, but you see the tree after, or the plant after. That's when you see the results. A lot of people now have a hard time seeing those results until it's in front of their face, but everything's always working in background. We may not personally see it and we may not notice it right away, but it's there and it's factual.
Oh, shout out to Dylan England. You guys don't understand that, but he is preaching. And it's not like because it's true. It's because there's a part of him that is saying, yeah, I could read behind that mask you guys got on. Yeah, I can see it. You know what I mean? I might not know what you're going through, but I know you're going through something. I've been there. I had myself a little bit of that and this and that, and I covered it up a little bit, and people saw it, and I found another way to put a mask over that so they didn't see it anymore. I get it. And you can hear this in these songs. But I'm trying to figure out, there's a softness to you. There's a softness to you that you probably didn't know about yourself. Yeah, you probably have your boundaries, protection around you, your family, faith, and things like that. But you're never loud. And, well, to us anyway. And because shout out to Dad Life, we are loud. Okay, especially if you're there. Okay. My kid crying in the background right now. It's been 2 hours, bro. But anyways, your music often leaves listeners thinking long after the final chorus. Do you intentionally avoid tying everything up neatly because life itself rarely offers perfect endings? Is there what's the next one?
There's no perfect ending for anyone or any song. And I'm probably not the only one that feels that way. There's probably plenty of songwriters that wish they could write that 30-minute song and produce that 30-minute song. The longest one I know of that's ever held ground is Free Bird by Leonard Skinner, and that is a 9-minute long song. Not everybody can do that. I would not even attempt to do that. Maintaining someone's attention span for that long is a very impressive and master level writing. I'm not there yet. I hope to one day become there, but I'm not there yet. I have so much more to learn and grow, and that's what I'm focused on. And then at the end of the day, I just want my songs to connect with someone. I just want them to know we're all in this life together. It's the only thing we're guaranteed is to be in life together. We're here. Let's make the best of it. Let's show each other that they're not alone.
My 50-year crew. We're all here together.
There's so many people in the world, not one person should ever feel alone, is how I feel. Nobody should ever feel that lonely. There's too many people in the world, man.
We got a new single out.
Yeah, The Devil Never Shouts.
What is that?
Does that not grab your attention?
It did. I'm like sitting here like, oh man, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to listen to it for the first time while you're here. But what's going on with this song?
So this one touches on addiction, but not any specific addiction. It can touch to anything from shopping to other things. And then also the song is about the fact that the things that ruin us hardly ever show up loud and explosive or destructive right away. A lot of it happens very slow, very quiet, very unnoticed until one day you just wake up and wonder, who the hell am I?
Wow.
Nobody chooses to fall into traps. Nobody wants to become, someone they're not. But the harsh reality is that we do. It's life. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. We listen to the wrong voices sometimes, whether that's a friend or a family or even a stranger. you know. So the devil never shouts is a different take on the whole devil thing, you know. Most of the time it's described as being very loud and destructive and chaotic, you know, but this puts a different twist on who he is and how he works, because I just don't believe it's always like that. You know, I think there's quiet things that you just don't always notice right away. And those tend to get us bigger than the big, loud, explosive things.
This is The Devil Never Shouts by Dylan England. It's currently released, new single out. This is going to be a live reaction, people.
At first it felt like it was helping me get through things I couldn't face. A way to quiet all the noise and numb the things I couldn't change. Kept telling myself I was still in charge, said I could quit anytime. But looking back I see the truth, I had already crossed the line. 'Cause nobody plans to lose themselves or become what they swore they'd never be. The devil never shouts, he don't kick your front door in. He just pulls up a chair beside you and slowly calls you friend. He don't ask for everything, just a little more each time. Till one day you wake up wondering, who the hell am I? What started out as once in a while became a part of every day. I got good at making promises.
Oh my. The truth. What was that line? He said, lies. What was, you know the lyrics. It was when it's dressed up like the truth. What was that? Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was watching your reaction and my mind's blown because you hear so much music. Lines sound great when they're dressed up like the truth.
Oh my!
I'm sorry.
Nah, you good, bro.
I'm beside myself. See, but my favorite part of that whole song is the very end. You know, when Faith shows up, only asking for, you know, enough faith to get back in the ring. That very last line is dedicated to my brother. He did Golden Gloves, and when he was a teenager, and he's fought with all of this. I've had to watch him do it, and you know, I've had to help him through stuff, and he's helped me through a lot. And that whole song just, honestly, someone famous needs to sing that song for me. I just want to, that chorus is nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very memorable. It's very easy to remember. You hear it once and it sticks with you. There's not a line about it that's a lie. It's the truth from the beginning to the end of that song. It's
bananas.
Someone famous needs to sing that song.
Yo, whoever, share the link, guys. Oh my gosh.
Somebody famous needs to sing that song. That the chorus is out of this world. It's probably the most commercial ready song I've written so far. But it's mind blowing. When I finally got the right voice, right flow, right music, and I heard it, I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting down, I was typing away, and I hit play. And at first it was kind of slow, you know, it's slow at first. But man, when you get to that first chorus, it made me stand straight up. It sent chills down my body. I immediately turned to my wife and I said, this is it. This is the one. Man. So I can't remember what country singer it was. He said that all you have to do is write one song from the heart and it can change your life. And that's my one song from the heart that could change my life if the right person picks that song up and sings it for me.
You know, there's a lot of things that happened in the chat while this was going on. First of all, shout out to Brendan Bao. I hope I'm saying that right. He subscribed. He said, I told you I'll be back. He said, I love this show. I love how you describing your songs and things like that. Keep up the show. I'm trying to keep my composure, right, while this is happening. And then he gifted us. Usually when people are gifting us, it's a social, an inspirational type of situation that happened. So that happened through there. I did get somebody from Texas. Kratos is one of my, he's not a fan. He's like a real life friend. The devil doesn't always shout. Addiction does not always notice oneself. Sometimes destruction whispers in the quiet. And it is in the silence that our troubles become the loudest. Now, if we understand music, when people start talking during songs, you already know, right? That's
Okay.
okay.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Hold on a second. Thanks for the 10 bits. I'm talking. There's an alert that went off in my ear. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's a lot of things in there, but when people start talking during a song, it's hitting them, which is really dope. And that dude right there, I know he listens to a lot of music too. So, big shout out to everybody listening.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. All right. We almost got to wrap this up. New single is out, guys. ! Guest. For anybody who is listening on the podcast, it's on the description on where to get this song and many other of his songs. Now, we did touch on that last part where it was like somebody famous needs to listen to this, hear and sing this song. Is that the goal for you and your songwriting, basically?
Yes, it is. So I don't have a voice to sing it, or I would. But I have a great mind and imagination that allows me to tell my stories. Sometimes they're in 3.5 minutes. Sometimes they're 4 minutes, maybe even 4:15. I'm sorry. I try to make them as quick as I can, but every line has to earn its place in a song of mine. And if it don't, it gets moved, changed, removed, whatever it has to be done. But yes, that's my end game. I want to write music. I don't care for who. I just want to write music. I want to tell my stories. I'm passionate about it. I'm motivated. I'm driven. I want to be able to get up and go out in the woods if I want to, sit in the middle of the woods and work on a song if that's what I choose to do that day. I know it sounds bad. It might sound bad.
Somebody's in the chat. Like, I'll let them ghostwrite for me. Like they're
I mean,
but the ghostwrite doesn't count because if songwriter wants the credit, so he's not gonna now. Maybe I don't know, but it's got to be like that. Which is. Listen.
The only thing that I would not be willing to do is give all the rights away to my music, to my songs. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. They're too personal to me. I have too much self-value in them. I
know we watch a lot of stuff,
But I don't want to be the face of my songs and my music. I can't be because I don't have the voice to go with it,
And that's almost a contradiction. Now, this is home to the unsigned artist, and I want to let people know, okay?
Yeah.
That is also could be a block for yourself. Not something that you want to introduce to somebody and say, hey, I'm not giving away my stuff. Yeah, you want to make it very, whatever. If they really want to work with you, okay, fine. And we'll cut a deal that this is also yours versus, you sharing something. But, there's so much that can block somebody by saying, okay, I'm giving you this song. They go do something in the studio and it sounds totally different. And they only wanted one piece of the song. That's going to happen. Okay, D, it's going to happen. So as long as you get a check, just,
I understand.
just let it go and be like, okay, you know, and then you just got to find the right people because it's going to happen. And there's people in my chat already waiting to work with you. So I already gave them your information. So it's going to be dope. Okay. So it's going to
You're
start
amazing,
happening.
dude.
It's gonna
But like I said, you were literally my first point of contact within the industry at all. You know,
Wow.
there's so much I don't know. You know, obviously, like you said, you know, what I said was a contradiction. I didn't know that, but you have to learn somehow, and you have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to adjust, and I'm okay with doing that. I've had to all my whole life. I've had to adjust. I can adjust. I can sit
But
down
you
and
know
have a
what's good about
conversation.
this, Del? You know what is good about this? The whole thing is just started. Now, take some advice, move on, okay? Because some
Yes,
of it is going to work, some of it's not. Some of it
Yes,
is
sir.
dated, and some of it is not. You know, but you are already fast forwarding to what it is. I want my stuff out, and this is the only way right now. And I'm going to tell you right now, you have shown already success that the thousands of that come through me yearly have not shown. You're good. Just keep on with it. Whatever it is you're doing in the background, keep it up. As long as you don't go broke. Make sure this.
Thank you so much, Dave. Really, thank you.
Make sure that you are okay. Now, let's soften this up a little bit because, man, we getting our fills. I'm there with you. Okay. Let me do something here.
Never gonna bring
Okay, there's a lot of things going on in the background. Oh. Oh my God. People were giving donations because they like your beard. So make sure you keep the beard. Yeah. You gotta stop playing. Oh my God. But that's not the only person that said that. Oh my God. All right. I got to keep this going. Brandon, thank you so much. I see everything that you're doing in there. I love it. All right. Let's soften this up. And then we'll ask our closing questions. What's the weirdest place that you ever came up with a song idea?
So that's funny. I was working maintenance at a assisted living facility. I was scrubbing floors with a big industrial floor scrubber, and I won't lie, the chorus to "The Devil Never Shouts" hit my mind. I stopped. I put it in my notes in my phone. Finished my job scrubbing floors. Went back to my maintenance office and started getting to work. I'm not gonna lie.
Just
I'm
random spot, bro.
I was scrubbing floors with an industrial floor scrubber when that chorus hit me and the thought hit my mind.
Oh my God. Has your phone ever been full of voice memos that sound completely crazy when you listen to them back later?
Yes. So I get random thoughts. If there's one thing I can't go without, it's my phone, no matter where I go or what I do. Random thoughts hit my mind and I hurry up and I put them in my phone because I'll lose them. And if you lose them, it's hard to get them back.
Yeah.
So I learned the hard way on a couple of times. I've lost a couple of really good lines that I wanted to use and I can't remember them. So now my phone, making sure it's completely charged as much as possible and making sure I have my phone on me is the most important thing. You don't want to lose stuff like that.
Have you ever accidentally sung the wrong lyrics to your own song? So, yeah.
One time.
Wow.
One time I did "Some Storms Stay." I sung it as so in the chorus it's "Some storms stay, some storms pass," and I said "Some storms stay, some storms go," and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't!" And my
Your
son,
own song.
he my own song, and my son goes, "Dad, what's wrong with you?" And I go, "Oh my, I can't believe I just did that." So yeah, I did. I did do that one time. I don't know why,
Now,
but it happened, and my son immediately called me out on it.
and
So I couldn't even live it down.
shout out to all the work that you do, but let's say you had a camera following you around, right? What would surprise people most about you?
I'm super busy. So we have 3 teenage daughters, a son. I have a dog, a
All right,
cat.
sending prayers, sending prayers. Oh my God, Jesus! They probably involved in stuff and stuff. Go ahead. But the 3 teenage daughters, that's it. You can have that.
So I'm super busy with that. I work full time. I come home and I have my garden. So I like to grow super hots, Carolina Reaper, stuff like that. I have my garden going on. I have my music going on. Like, I might get 30 minutes of the day to my actual self where I can just kind of decompress, relax.
Shout out to the hour we
before
just
I
had.
go to bed.
Shout out to the hour that we just had. Wow.
So, but I've learned, every wasted minute is something you can't get back. If you waste an hour today, and if you do that every day over the course of a year, you've wasted 365 hours of your life that could have either been productive or did something for somebody else that could have helped them too. So a lot of people don't know, man, like I grow banana peppers, cucumbers, stuff like that. I love to give my stuff away. Like, there's no better feeling. It's almost like cooking for someone, you get that deep satisfaction when they take that first bite and they're like, oh, this is amazing. So when I take them a homegrown tomato or banana pepper or jalapeno, something, and they eat it and they taste it and they're like, oh, this is homegrown. I can tell it, man. I mean, there's a level of satisfaction to that you just can't get anywhere else. And that's how it is with my music too. Like, it makes me feel amazing to know that people listen to my music and they like it and they care and enjoy it. That's the biggest compliment I could ever have.
Listen, I love that you take these things in because, man, I just found out that we have a blue collar worker, a great painter. He scrubs and writes songs at the same time, a botanist. We got everything in here. He's finding the Lord again. Okay, wife and kids, that's a bunch of problems in itself. Okay, especially dealing with this stuff. And we got more subs. You guys got to stop it in the chat. I'm trying to have a conversation. It's so much that you're doing, and I want you to know. You also not alone, Dad. You also not alone. Because you won't say it, but I will. Fuck these kids, bro. Okay? In the Lord's name. I'm telling you.
Thank you, Dave, so much.
My God. Oh my God.
This has been...
Look,
this privilege has been an honor, bro.
I got a few comments here for you. I want to make sure you got it, okay? The wealthiest places on earth are not diamond mines, the oil fields, or the banks. They are the graveyards filled with books never written, songs never sung, businesses never built, prayers never spoken, and dreams that died inside people who waited too long. Life is too short to be standing still. That comes from another busy dad. Shout out to my busy dads in the building.
Thank you.
That was Kratos, my boy. What up?
You guys are amazing. Thank you, Dave, so much.
You're welcome. Listen, I don't even want to know. What's going on in 5 years? What are the goals? Because you've been so successful in the last 6 months.
I want to write music. I want to write more stories. I want to touch more people. I want to let more people know they're not alone out there. I ain't reached enough people yet. There's plenty more out there that are still feeling alone today, and they don't have to. My songs will tell you, you aren't, man. They go from struggle to faith to temptation, but redemption too, Still She Rises is a redemption song, man. That song is inspired and written for my wife. That woman's story is insane, and she's proof. No dreams out of reach. Yeah, there might be obstacles. You might have to jump through more than one or two hoops too. Maybe even rings of fire if you need to, but you can reach them. They are there. You know, I've heard my whole life that the sky's the limit, Dave. But I'm out here reaching for the sun, brother. Sky ain't high enough for what I'm after. It's just the truth.
Oh my God,
it's the truth. I'm not reaching for the sky, Dave. I'm reaching for that sun.
I don't know if you know the sun is hot, but you know I feel. Oh my.
That's fine because I got some cold lyrics to cool it off a little. I'm telling you, some storms stay. Dig into it. Dig into the lyrics of that one song, and they will blow your mind. Really listen to them. Don't let the slower flow stop you, man. Listen to them lines. I mean, even on the good days, you're bracing for the rain, man. I mean, like there's so many good lines in there. That song they're in there. But yeah, I am, you know,
wow.
I've heard my whole life the sky's the limit, but I'm reaching for the sun. I am, and I ain't gonna stop until I get it.
Dylan England, everyone. Wow. That's amazing. And I know there's so much more. And we definitely could talk about a part 2. Because I wouldn't mind finding out what's going on. I want to talk to you during holiday season. I want to know what that sounds like. Because that's a whole different thing. People don't understand the switch up is... Anyways. Dylan, I appreciate this conversation more because I found out who you are. Because there are people that are going to look at this and hear it and be annoyed. But it's the new way. It's the new way for those who could not write it and be heard to actually be heard. Then people want to find out more. You cannot disagree with the fact that this one of many writers has decided to utilize the tools that we have to bring out the feelings that we have, like faith, family, perseverance, redemption, and healing, and can connect with people even though you feel disconnected from how he did it. If you don't want to listen to the person and you want to listen to the digital version is here, and you're going to go back and research the person. And we talked about songwritings, both as a craft and sometimes even as a call, and the challenge of writing timeless music and what it takes to build a worldwide audience, one genuine listener at a time. Dylan, thank you so much for sharing your journey and giving us a deeper look into stories behind your music.
Dave, thank you for having me, man. This is one of the biggest honors of my life, I swear. I mean, I finding my faith again, my wife and my kids. But man, you guys accepted one of my songs into rotation, and then, you know, this interview, it's life-changing for me. Like, this is a huge honor, something I didn't expect to happen in a million years. I won't act like I did expect it. I really didn't, and especially this soon. I'm very, very appreciative and grateful for you and your time. Thank you so much, Dave.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Dylan. We're going to talk behind the scenes because I got to add you on Facebook. On my personal page. You know what I'm saying? Dylan, shout out to you. Shout out to the family. Shout out to mom. Shout out to your bro. Shout out to everybody who's part of this. Shout out to the good faith that's coming back into your life. And thank you for being vulnerable and letting us know that there is someone behind those keyboards. And we are touched. And we'll talk soon.
Yes, thank you so much, Dave. You have a very blessed day, and all the listeners have a blessed day as well. Be safe, take care of your family, and work hard. Your dreams aren't out of reach. You can get them. Just got to reach for them, man.
Used to talk to you at bedtime like you were sitting in the room. Never questioned if you heard me, never doubted what I knew. I still find myself wondering where it started slipping through. Was it one unanswered question, or 1,000 I didn't get to? I didn't lose faith in a moment, it must have faded over time. One quiet doubt after another, till I lost what I once knew. But I still catch myself looking upward when life brings me to my knees. Guess some part of me is still hoping to find what I used to believe. 'Cause I miss the peace I carried when faith came easy.